welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Zoya's latest collection. It's their Easy Neon Spring 2021 collection. All creams, no glitters, no shimmers. We're gonna go through each polish one by one and see how they apply. But before we get started, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you do end up finding it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. Now, I was particularly looking forward to this collection because it features the wide paddle brush. Now, if you're not familiar with these Zoya brushes, they have been offering the standard brush, which you'll find in most mainstream nail polish, and these brushes are typically thinner, and they've introduced the wide brush, which has more of a paddle shape. So right now, Zoya has the wide paddle brushes available on their website, sold separately, which you can purchase either as singles or as a batch and just replace your current brushes if you prefer. But now they've offered it in a full collection, so I'm really curious to see how they apply, especially with their cream formula. So without further ado, let's get swatching.
Okay, so first up we have Zelda, and this is a coral cream polish. The first coat applies pretty sheer as we're seeing a lot of the nail growth showing underneath, but on the second coat we are getting a build-in color, but it's still pretty sheer to me. One thing I wanted to note is that the formula for this collection is meant to have a matte finish, although here I'm seeing it a little bit more on the satin side, but you will need a top coat for added shine. I would say this collection is more of a jelly consistency than a traditional rich opaque cream polish. Now, I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, and it's supposed to have a streak-free result. However, I'm still feeling this is a little bit streaky to me, even with the help of the wide paddle brush. I mean, it's not too bad once you apply your top coat. Once the polish dries down completely, you will notice this a lot more. Next up is Oakley, and this is a beautiful orange cream. I love this one. It looks like orange creamsicles in the summertime. I love the color. It's very bright. Is it neon? I wouldn't say so. It's more of like a bright orange to me. It's still applying quite sheer, and I'm seeing a lot of the nail growth showing underneath, especially even going into that third coat. To be honest, guys, I'm not really liking how satin and sheer this formula looks. On top of that, it doesn't really give me neon, and as a neon collection, I want to feel neon. I want to have that neon look and feel. It's a beautiful color, but it's just not neon. Here's a shot of it with a top coat. It gives it that gorgeous gloss that it's missing. For the top coat, I'm using the Zoya Ultra Glossy Seal. Next is Janie, and this is a bright pink. I just love how bright this pink really is. On the first coat, it is quite sheer again. It builds up nicely in color into the second. On the third, I'm still seeing a lot of nail growth underneath. I don't know, guys. So far, I'm really disappointed about the formula. I guess I was just expecting maybe like this pigmented neon cream, especially with Zoya. They have gorgeous cream polishes. Next is Link, and this is a lime green cream polish. This has got to be my favorite of the bunch. It pretty much reminds me of warmth and vacation weather, and to me it's the closest thing to being a neon polish out of all of the polishes featured in this collection. On the first coat, we already see that it applies just as sheer as the others, but it does build into a deeper green the more coats you go. That said, if you do have longer nails, you will notice the nail growth underneath is going to show a lot more noticeably. So here's a shot of this polish without top coat. And then here it is again with top coat. It looks very shiny once you add that top coat on, and it looks absolutely gorgeous and bright and beautiful. I love it. Next is Echo, and this is a blue cream. It is definitely a gorgeous deep blue. I love this one too. It's very bright, very sheer again on these first two coats, and then still sheer again on the third coat. You won't notice it as much when the polish is wet, but when it does dry down, you will notice that sheerness a lot more clearly. To me, a neon would be a polish that would look bright, really on every skin tone, every undertone, regardless of how it's applied, regardless of the color. It would be like highlighter levels of brightness. Like that to me is a true neon. Last but not least is Banks, and this is a deep purple, and I really love this shade of purple. It is like a classic purple. I love it. Again, the first few coats are quite sheer, and then it goes into a deeper purple on the third coat. It is really too sheer for me. I want to love it because I love the colors, but this just not giving me what I need. I really love seeing these colors though. Like honestly, if you have a nail polish rack wherever you are, wherever you store your nail polish, these are beautiful polishes to have in your collection. These aren't the first neons to be released from them, and I'm sure they will not be the last, but I'm really hoping that they will consider reformulating perhaps for the next release. And we'll see. Either way, the colors are gorgeous from this collection, and it's definitely beautiful to see during these times.
So welcome back. I'm gonna start out with some of the things I loved about the collection, and then we'll move on to some things that I didn't quite love. So starting with things I love, the colors. You know, these colors are perfect for spring, and they lead beautifully into summer as well. I love bright colors. I pretty much will wear them any time of year. I don't need to wait for spring or summer, but you know what I mean. These are just kind of those colors that you'll typically reach for in these seasons. The second thing, I love the wide brush. I am definitely an advocate for the wide brush. I hope they continue to keep the wide brushes, whether they're sold separately or integrated into their upcoming collections. I love the wide paddle brush. I feel like it's much more flattering to the cream formula. I feel like the wide brush is much easier to maneuver as well when I'm applying the polish. And the white cap too looks really great as well. I'm not sure if they introduced the white cap to kind of signify that it's a different brush, or if they just use the white cap for the fact that it's brighter colors. Either way, it looks really cool. So my favorite and most interesting of the bunch would have to be Link, and that was that bright green polish. I just love it. It reminds me of limes and summer and sitting by the beach and just enjoying the sunshine. I just love that one. I find it actually to be probably the brightest or closest to neon out of all of the colors featured in this collection. Make sure to let me know what your favorite color from the collection was in the comment section below. Now let's talk about the things I didn't quite love about this collection. The first thing is that I found this formula to be quite sheer for me. I love cream polishes mostly because I love the opaque nature that it tends to bring, but I feel like this didn't bring it. I was seeing a lot of the nail peeking through underneath. That's something I would expect more from a sheer polish, maybe like a pearlescent polish. This formula kind of almost forces you to have to use a white base to really bring out the color. I personally do not like that at all. If I'm using a cream polish, I want to be able to just apply it, you know, 1 or 2 coats and be done. I don't want to have to worry about layering it over other colors to do the work. And the colors applied a lot darker than I feel they look in the bottle. Like, please, give me a neon any time of year, let me tell you. But this wasn't it. This was not neon for me. It seems like neons can be a little bit tricky to formulate. You know, either you get it very bright and you do get that essence of a neon polish, or you just get a bright polish and then you have to layer it over a white base. Sometimes brands will get it right, sometimes they don't. The other thing I noticed was that these polishes don't dry down glossy, they dry down quite satin. It wouldn't be a deal breaker, but I do prefer my polishes to dry down a little bit glossy at least, and then apply the top coat to kind of seal everything in and kind of wrap everything together in a bow, if you know what I mean. If you're looking for neon polishes this summer or spring, I wouldn't grab this one, to be honest. I just say it. But they are really beautiful, bright polishes. I just wouldn't categorize them as neon. Yeah. So those are kind of my thoughts on the collection. I love these colors together. You know, as I'm sure you've seen by now, I did a little Skittle Mani. Pretty much can't get the whole collection and not do a Skittle Mani. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the swatches. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. As always guys, please stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.